Hello, everybody. Welcome. It is so good to see everybody in the comments. Hello from Scotland. Hello. Thank you for joining us, Andy from Scotland. That's so exciting. And hello to all of our regulars. We have Wendy, Luna Banks, Nick, Julie, April, and my boo, Jaden. Hi, everybody. It's so good to see you. If you're new to the show, my name is Riley J. Pronouns are he, him, and this is Evening Vibes. We encourage you to just take the next hour to relax, unwind, and just have a good time with us. It has been an insane day. I feel like, as I was saying like 2 weeks ago, my show always falls on like the roughest days here in America. It is crazy. Like, I mean, today was a mix of a lot of things, but like the roughest days to have conversations, it feels like. So, um, I'm very excited for our guest today because we're going to be talking about a lot of different things, including that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I always like to start the show by asking everyone how they are and where they're coming from. So feel free to put how you're doing in the comment section. And if you like to elaborate on what you're doing or why you're feeling the way you're feeling, we always encourage that as well. Not sure if you've ever said, but what are your parents so excitedly singing in that intro? So they were playing this game, the intro video where you see my mom and dad. They're playing a game where I forget what it's called, but they have this wrist thing on where they can't use their thumb, and they had to draw without using their thumb, and then we had to guess what they were drawing, and it it was really bad. And that was when the timer had gone off, and they were like, "Ah, dang it!" Like, and they were frustrated, and they were done. So that's what that was. I think all they had to do was like draw like an elephant or a dog or something. I don't know, but it was hilarious. Oh, it made you happy. I'm glad you had a good day today, Andy. That's great. And M said my week's been boring and exhausting. I'm sorry. So take everything you're feeling, the good, the bad, everything in between. And just kind of, well, I guess if you're doing good, you don't have to let it go. But if you're doing not so good, feel free to let it go. For the next hour, we're just gonna unwind, have some good talks, and it's gonna be a good time. With that being said, I'm super excited to welcome our guest today. She is a fantastic human being in my eyes. I look up to her a lot. She's a role model. She's an actual model because she's drop dead gorgeous. She's an activist, public speaker, everything in between. Please welcome everyone, Miss Avalisa. Hello,
Hi.
Avalisa.
Hello, hello. I was actually in the process of sharing the post when I got pulled on, and I was like, oh no, I need to hurry.
I'm sorry. It was bad
It's
timing. I told you
okay.
you were gonna have a full 5 minutes, and I gave you like three and a half
It's
instead.
okay. It's okay. It's fine.
So, Avalisa, would you like to give a little intro of yourself?
Yes, of course. My name is Avalisa Gallo. However, I do drag under the name Avalisa Davenport. Yes, I am a part of the Davenport family. Um, I have done so much in my life, and I always forget that like it's not normal for people to like do this amount of stuff. As a kid, I did a lot of theater and a lot of stuff like that, and even back then I was like, I need to make sure that I keep everything under control and like don't do anything super bad because it's going to come back and get me because I'm going to be somebody special someday. And so like I was super like reserved as a child, and then went through high school, got bullied because I looked like a girl and I acted like a girl. So funny because now that I am a girl, they're like, oh, you're a man. Make up your mind. Um,
Oh, life.
but went from there to the military, lived this entire life in the military playing the role of a soldier and airman, and then hopped out of the military, started modeling, traveled the world as a model, started getting into drag, started doing stuff like that. And I don't know, I've lived so many different places and I've experienced so many different things that when I start talking about myself, people are like, are you serious? And I'm like, It seems normal to me.
Right. That is insane though to jump from such big career changes. Like they weren't even like small career changes. Like
Yeah.
like they're not like the average like I worked at McDonald's and then I worked at Kohl's and now I work in the office. Like, I traveled here, here, and here,
No.
and I had this huge life transition and now I'm here, here, and here.
I'm currently living in Bentonville, Arkansas. I was in Omaha, Nebraska, and I was on the mayor's advisory board, LGBTQ advisory board, and we were doing a lot to change the city. Right before COVID hit real hard, I was actually named as the co-grand marshal of Pride in the area. And so it was like a lot of super fun things that were happening. And then Corona, and then now I'm in my room.
With a stunning showcase behind you.
Oh, you mean these crowns?
just just casual.
These crowns and plaques just casually behind me. I saw Andy say, "What did you think of Michelle Obama's outfit today?" It was everything. It was
Very.
everything. It's why Michelle Obama will always be American royalty.
Yes. Very yes, 100%. It was like every time she was on screen, we were like, "Okay, where's her crown? Where is all her jewels that we need to bestow upon her?"
Mm-hmm. It was I was just gagged the entire time. Like when I saw her walking through the hall, I was like, Michelle, are you doing this to me today?
I think in my personal opinion, I thought all the women were really serving it today. Like the iconic women that made moments today at the inauguration, they were all just serving looks that I was there for.
Pence's wife looked tired, and I get that.
Yeah. Tired is just like that. I just assume. It was like we were watching the inauguration through CNN, and it was like as soon as the inauguration was over, they were like, and now they're in the House and Senate making this decision. And I was like, oh my gosh, they never sleep. They just
It just
never. It just
goes,
keeps
but I'm so
going.
happy that, it was kind of like straight out the gate. It was kind of like immediate because there's so many things that need to be changed, and we're all crossing our fingers to be changed. And so to see some things happening immediately just felt so good.
Right. And just signing stuff right away, like, nope, we're gonna do this now. And I was like, a president that's doing things. My mind is blown. More fabulous than Beyonce Knowles today.
Mm-hmm.
What was Beyonce wearing today? I don't know.
Who knows? Beyonce was at the house, but Beyonce has always outdone a Michelle. Her entire career, she outdid a Michelle, and today Michelle outdid her.
I can get
Wasn't
behind
Michelle Williams, but Michelle outdid Beyonce today, and we need to respect that.
Pence was relieved, I think, both of them. I mean, I don't know what he was doing.
I have thoughts on that I have been talking about. Thank you, Renee. I enjoyed doing my Busset challenge. I have thoughts on Pence cutting out at the last second and being like, "See, I don't support his craziness." It's like, no, you saw your door, you saw
Mhm.
that opening, and you got out. But you
I
were with him for the rest of the 4 years and all of the craziness.
Right. And I think the biggest thing to me that I found entertaining today was watching the broadcasters on CNN get so like very real about their feelings of Trump. Like there was no more holding back. They were like,
Hmm.
he's an idiot, he was stupid, and why is Pence here? I don't understand. I was like, yes, I'm here for it. CNN for life.
Yeah, I was like, drag him today. I need this in my life. I need you to drag them for everything that they have done.
And
Like
everything.
it's been building since the 6th. Was
Hmm.
it the 6th? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been building since then. Like they've slowly been getting more and more free about the things that they say, but like they drug them today.
And every time there was like one broadcaster that occasionally would be like devil's advocate, and she was like, "Oh well, maybe," and they were like, "No, like stop, he's gone. We don't
it's
have to do this anymore."
it's over. The nightmare is over. Now we have to deal with, the cold sweat and the fact that all of the sheets are drenched, but the nightmare is over. We are awake.
Yes. Oh, the sheets are wet. Ew.
Cold sweats when you have a nightmare.
Yeah, I get it.
Like you have to deal with that when you wake up, but like at least you're awake.
That's true. Now we can like go do some laundry, make them
Hmm.
nice again. Hopefully. There's
Hopefully.
there's still like some sweat stains, but at least it's like
Hmm.
not wet anymore.
The sweat stains may have made it all the way down to the mattress, but at
We
least
had
we're awake.
we had to get a new mattress because the one that we had was just like full of sweat stains. I was like, "How old is this?" And she was like 16 years old." I was like, "It's time for a new one. Look at it."
There's just something so adult about getting a new mattress. And it shouldn't
What?
be. It should be normal. It should be a normal thing to regularly change your mattress. However, it's like, oh my God, I'm paying this money for a new mattress. And then you feel really fancy when you unpack it.
Mhm. We had to take like a loan out on ours. I'm like paying monthly for our mattress. That's how adult I feel, but like in a sad way. Like,
Hmm.
why do I have a loan on my mattress?
There's so many things about life that I like look around and I'm like, I'm an adult. And I'm not like just new to this. Like I'm a full adult right here in this moment. This is crazy.
The weirdest thing that I've been dealing with is at the beginning of last year, we got the house over into my name. And that's been the weirdest transition for me because people are like, Isn't it crazy? A house. And I'm like, shouldn't everyone just have a house?
This should be normal.
Right. Like, why are we all shocked by this? I wish everyone just had this. Like, I don't know.
But sadly, the way that society is set up, that's not a reality for a lot of people.
Andy said they say every 8 years you should get a new mattress. Well, that seems really quick
I
with
feel like
how
I slept on my mattress like all through middle school and high school.
I've had the same mattress since I grew out of like the kid mattress. Like when I at my parents' home, like that same mattress still exists in their home. I mean, the sheets are changed, so
I've gotten adult about changing pillows though. I'm super forward thinking about being like, this pillow is dead. Throw it in the trash.
we're done with this pillow. I'm like a pillow hoarder. I'll get the new pillow, but then I keep the old one because I don't know what to do with it. I feel weird
Me,
throwing it in the
no,
trash.
just right in the dumpster.
Just throw it.
Just throw it. No, no, putting it in a bag. No, say your goodbyes, thank it for its service, and throw it in the dumpster.
So back to the inauguration. What can I ask, like, candid, what feelings do you have about going into this new presidency? Because everyone is all over the board, so I'm always interested where people are at this point, now that it's happened.
So it's like, okay, Trump was actively making our lives a living hell.
Mhm.
And so that's not happening anymore. And that's really amazing. Like, I'm super excited for the fact that I'm not going to actively be persecuted. And the president's not going to gloss over the fact that, Black people statistically are experience more violence from police, or that Black trans women are killed more than anybody else in the entire LGBTQ community. Um, Super happy to not have somebody just glossing over that or inciting the hatred that causes that. But at the same time, it's like, okay, Joe Biden made a lot of promises. Let's see.
Yeah. That's been my biggest. Is like, okay, there's a lot of things that he said he's gonna do in his first 10 days. That seems like a lot.
I'm just like, it's not Trump, but it's not the new day that everybody
Right.
thinks it is.
Yeah,
We're
it
we're not even back to 4 years ago. We're not even back to before. Mm.
very. Just all of that. Someone's asking, have you been doing online shows or Instagram live? Do you have a good voice, or how would you explain your style? Did you ever meet RuPaul? That was a
Okay,
lot of
I can see them, so I'll go through them one by one.
questions.
Um, I have not been doing online shows. I tried to do one online show when what, thank you. I love my hoop earrings too. When the pandemic started and, shows just got canceled, I tried to do a show from my house, and then reality hit very clearly. And it made me realize that we are all struggling financially. And it takes a very large amount of money to do the drags, to put on the makeup, to do all of the things. And I didn't want people to feel obligated to tip me. I didn't want people to feel obligated to, take money that they could have been saving towards the next month and give that to me when I know that I'm okay. And I guess I could have pushed that forward to donate to somebody or something. I don't know. I just had super weird feelings about it. And the first time I did it, I got maybe like $3, and I was like, that was a lot of work for $3. Um, but every now and again, I will get on not Instagram, on Facebook Live, and I'll do my makeup while I'm talking to people, because I am still somewhat of a public figure. And so releasing pictures with my face and my makeup and stuff like that, that's still something that I have to do. And so when I start doing the makeup, I'll pop on my phone and be like, hey, so let's talk about things. Do I have a good voice, or how would I explain my style?
I feel like it's two different questions.
I kind of have a good voice, but I don't sing as much as I used to. Um, Publicly, I have an amazing voice. I speak up for a lot of trans issues, and it's because I'm the palatable Black trans woman. People like to see me, people like to hear me. I'm well spoken, I'm pretty. And so I use my voice in that manner quite often. As far as my style, when it comes to performing and stuff like that, I am the fantasy in real life. I think that's the best way to describe it. I am an amalgamation of all things feminine and sexual and sensual put together in one performance right there in front of you. And that's kind of what I've gone for. I remember I had made friends with Carmen Carrera, and I watched her perform in Austin, Texas. And she came out, she lit up a blunt, she sat down in the middle of the stage. She did her entire number. She put the blunt out, and it was such a sensual movement. Everything was just very flowy. And I was like, I need to stop trying to be a drag queen, and I need to be this. And from that moment on, that's just what it was. Oh, it's gone now. It's gone. Have I ever met RuPaul? I have not met RuPaul, but I did work with Tyra Banks once, and that was really cool.
I feel like it's a good second close to.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I mean, Tyra's a drag queen. We've all known. She gets in the drags.
Would you ever want to be on Drag Race?
I don't know, because realistically, fantasy wise, of course, I'd love to be trans representation on the show, like trans feminine, trans female representation on the show, which I think is one thing that we need. And there has been so much controversy around that, saying that it would be cheating and all of this other stuff. But I do think we need trans female, trans feminine representation on the show from the very beginning. So I'd love it for that aspect. But at the same time, there is so much of a demand that is put on you once you go on the show. I know that my life would look nothing like it does right now. And I like hanging out with my fiance. I like just chilling out together and relaxing together. And I know that that would be a very rare thing. If I was to go on the show, I'd be traveling a lot. And I don't think, I think I would miss those moments.
Yeah, it'd be another quick life change, and all of a sudden just be what is happening? We've had that talk a lot in this household, how cool it would be for Jaden to do RuPaul's Drag Race, but how crazy of a life change. We wouldn't be able to do anything that we do now, just a simple live stream show or a show at Tap Room once that opens back up. That would just be non-existent.
I mean, and even outside of that, it would be so while the show airs, like before the show airs, you're still living regular life. As soon as the show starts airing, then you're doing appearances at different clubs, and so you're flying out every week to a new place to do the show on Friday because you're doing a show on Friday. Now that people know that you're on the show, then you're booked for other shows. Through Voss and through all the different agencies. But like, as soon as this show airs, you're traveling, and then you're on tour after the show is over with the winner, especially if you make anywhere close to top three. It's like nonstop. Even if you go home first, it's nonstop.
Right. We have a lot of people mentioning Got Mick right now. Have you been watching the current season?
I have been watching the current season, and I love the representation of a trans man on the show. I do hate the way that producers tried to make it a big thing because obviously it wasn't a big thing. I'm
Yeah.
standing on stage and these lyrics say that I was born a girl, and I'm so frustrated. And it was like, quit this shit.
My favorite part was how everyone was just so unfazed. Everyone just looked and was like, okay.
Yeah, girl.
I was like, this is
Okay.
everything I need. Like they made up for
Are
whatever
you
was
gluing down
trying
your
to
brows or
happen.
not?
Right. And they were like, why did you freak like they're like, why did you freak out? And he's like, oh, XYZ. And they're like, okay. So anyway.
I think that that's another thing that I've been it's been a very constant theme in a lot of the talks that I've had is trying to explain dysphoria to cis people.
Mhm.
And I feel that there are no words. I honestly like live by my belief that there are no words to explain what dysphoria feels like.
Yeah.
Um, but to see dysphoria on TV, even if it was, highly stylized, I was like, oh, there it is. Makes no sense whatsoever. But you just start like beating yourself up and slowly spiraling into this little black hole that you can't pull yourself out of, and you don't know why you're there in the first place. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking about different ways that I've described dysphoria, and every time I've described it, it's not what I've wanted to say.
Yeah. So one that I've started using is, okay, so you're in your car and your tank is on E and the light is on. So you go to the gas station and you fill up the tank. You put like $35 in. You know that it's full. Then you get in the car and it says that it's full. And then you drive off and then your light pops on and it says that the tank is empty. But you know that you put gas in there. You know that that's reality, but at the same time it's like, is there gas in the car? Is this a malfunction? What's happening? But I should
Yes.
probably go back to the gas station. Like, it doesn't make sense, but it's
Yep.
there and it's urgent.
Yeah. I mean, if you follow that same analogy, people can tell you a million times and show you that there's gas in the car. They can physically point it out and be like, "Look, gas." And you'd be like, "No,
No,
I
it
don't
still
think
says
so."
E. I don't trust this.
I think that person over there probably still sees that it's empty, so I'm just gonna
Somebody knows it's empty and I'm going to end up on the side of the road. So let me go back to the gas station. Worst case scenario, there's gas flying out everywhere.
just overflowing with gas.
But
Overflowing
like
with
it's so weird. I am so strong and confident in my womanhood. And like I've been in this game for 10 years. Like there should be no reason for me to like not believe in myself and not feel confident in myself. But then there's days where I wake up and I'm like, you're a man.
Mhm.
Everybody thinks you're a man. Everybody can tell. And then I'm just laying in bed eating chips and like zoned out on something on YouTube, trying to pull myself back out of it. And it makes no sense. It makes no sense.
I um I recently had a therapy appointment and my therapist is genderqueer. And so we're like on the same like playing field of like terminology and dysphoria and stuff. And I brought up that like sometimes I still have moments where I'm like, am I supposed to be like this person? Like, am I supposed to be a man? Like, I don't know. And my therapist goes, you're still fighting that? I was like, we're not all fighting it. Like,
Yeah, no, no, we're all here in this boat. I'm like, do I really feel like this? Or no, I feel like this. This is definitely who I am. This is who I'm meant to be.
am I
Yeah,
really
yeah,
supposed to
yeah.
be injecting hormones? I don't know. I've only been doing it for 5 years. Maybe I'm not sure yet. I paid a lot of money to change my name. I don't know. Is this my name?
Mm. Ugh, jeez. Life is crazy. I
Hmm.
see Andy. Um, was it difficult in my hometown? I grew up in a lot of different places because my mom was in the military, but I went to high school in Virginia and in Texas. And Virginia was a little tough, but nobody really gave me like any flack because I was, surrounded by pretty cool people. It was every now and again. Like I remember like the worst thing to happen to me in high school was I had a girl accuse me of sexually harassing her. We were doing Hello Dolly for a play, and I was upset because I couldn't wear one of the dresses. And so they were practicing in skirts, and she was like spinning. And I was like, bitch, make it go higher. Why are you half assing this? If you're going to have this skirt on, do it. And so like I was, trying to encourage her to spin faster, and she was just laughing and giggling the whole time. And then like the next day I get pulled into the principal's office, and they were like, she said that she pulled her skirt up and you made her feel uncomfortable. And I was like, what?
Oh my gosh.
What's happening? But like outside of that, like most of my experience was just staying silent about everything I felt. My attraction to men, the fact that I felt like a woman the entire time, like I just didn't say anything about it. I
Hmm.
was me, kind of like I was me light,
Yeah,
but diet me. But like it wasn't super terrible. In middle school, it was really bad, like physical violence. But it wasn't until I transitioned that I experienced violence again.
that sucks. That it's like
It's
it's
weird.
yeah, it's not till you become your like outwardly become your true self, and then people decide that's when they want to say something and go further in that.
Yeah, I had a taser most of the time, so I stay pretty safe.
In that like I guess same category, I definitely didn't experience any issues with like hate or hate crime or anything also until I like started to transition, which was crazy because I relatively passed before hormones, and then I start hormones, and then all of a sudden I'm told I'm like in the wrong restroom and that I shouldn't be here, and that like that's when people decide to say something. Like I wasn't doing it like the whole time before. Like
It's every drive through that I went through before transitioning. Everybody was like, here you go, ma'am. And I was like, really? And then, like, as soon as I transitioned, it was nothing but sir. And I was like, what's happening?
yep. Same. I got stir all the time at like Starbucks, and then yep, they heard my voice and they were like, "So, ma'am," and I was like, "Why? My voice is different now. I don't understand."
What's happening here? Life is weird.
It is.
Have I ever considered acting? I have done movies. I actually have a movie on Amazon Prime right now.
You do? I didn't know that. What is it?
Yeah, it's called Aging Out. I think they changed the name to.
Ooh.
Let me see.
We're like always watching Amazon in our house.
I'm I'm a prostitute in it, which gave me all types of feelings.
Oh no.
I think it's just age out. Yeah. on Amazon Prime. We filmed it in like 2015 and they just released it in 2018. But
Oh goodness.
yeah, they my agent called me and he was like, "Would you be against being a hooker in a movie?" And I was like, "Who's in it?" And he told me who was in it and who was directing it. And I was like, "Well, there's like two Oscars connected with this movie, so I'll do it." And then I got there and hair and makeup was supposed to like glam me out and they didn't show up. So all I had was like the smallest of things with me. And so like I had to do my makeup on the floor with like my fingers. I look
Not
like
your
shit.
fingers.
Look like shit in the whole like we filmed one scene like 17 times over and over again. And like we started out with the script and then they were like, just take the script out, let whatever happens happens. And so then like one of the things that we kind of picked up on is that I was this one guy's friend the whole time. And so then they were like, okay, well then we need you to come and do this shoot on this day. And I was like, okay, cool. And that time I actually had my makeup done because I knew how they were going to do me. And then that one didn't even make it into the movie. So I'm just there looking absolutely like I don't look terrible. I look like me, but like I can look better.
Right.
So much better.
Oh my gosh. So who else is in this film?
Ty Sheridan. Did you see Ready Player One?
No, but Maxie told me I need to watch it. So it's on my list.
Did you see X-Men First Class?
Nope.
Jeez.
I'm sorry, I'm ruining it.
He was in something else. And then the other guy, did you see Get Out?
Yes.
Okay, the older brother,
Mm-hmm.
the creepy older brother, he was in it too. Those were the two that I filmed my scene with. And then did you watch Westworld?
No.
Okay. Well, Alfred from Westworld is in there, or Albert. What is his name in that show? I don't know. But he's pretty famous. And then there were some other people in it that were famous, and I'm credited like sixth in like the lineup. And I was like, oh my God, this is it. This is how it happens. And like we were supposed to go on like this press tour and we were supposed to be talking with kids who have aged out of the foster system and like all of this other stuff. And they were like, we'll let you know when it starts, we'll let you know when it starts. And I just didn't hear anything. And they were like, oh well, we're going to this film festival and this film festival. And I was like, okay, let's see what happens. And then like all of a sudden it's on Amazon for free. And I was like, what? What happened to my red carpet?
Oh no. COVID is what happened to your red carpet. They took too long and now here we are.
Mm-hmm. Now it's on Amazon.
And we're doing live stream shows for free on the internet. So
This is better. I get to stay at home. I'm not wearing shoes.
it's okay. I'm usually wearing sweatpants or shorts. I just make my upper half look nice.
I have on my Sounds Gammon shirt on, and that's all that matters.
Exactly. That's the only thing you need is that shirt, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you have it, it's always accurate to whatever you're doing.
It's always accurate. It always describes how I feel about things.
Same.
I'm in. You asked me to do this. I said, sounds gay. I'm in.
And it was. We talked a lot about a lot of gay things, so it works.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you, Julie. I appreciate that.
Julie is one of our regulars. She is also our biggest like supporter financially. She's always buying us things. A lot of our Friday shows, a lot of backdrops are from her. She's very sweet.
Thank you, Julie.
And then April is our friend who has multiple sclerosis that we're always raising money for.
Thank
And
you
she's
for being
amazing.
here, April.
I don't think, did you ever get to meet April while you were here?
I didn't get to meet April. I don't think so.
I think Jaden met April like right after you left. Cause what month did you leave Michigan that year?
I think it was August.
Yeah, they met that school year, so they would have met in September. You just missed it.
And then couldn't come back. Things were too busy. And then the Rona.
Do you want to talk a little bit how you got to know like Boylesque and Jaden?
Yes. So I did drag in Austin, Texas, and I don't know. I was like a pop star for a hot second, and then like my label crumbled, and they took my my album with them.
Oh
Um,
no.
and so somebody was like, "You should do drag," and I was like, "I want to sing my own stuff," and they were like, "Just do it." And so I started doing drag, and like it became a really big thing, and it got me into places. It got me into rooms, and so I was really into it. And then I was on my way to Hollywood to film a TV show, and that was super exciting. And then the show got canceled. Um, but while I was waiting for the show to start filming, I was in Nebraska just chilling out with my family, and then got on Tinder and was planning on just wasting some time and met my fiance. And that was super awesome. Um, and then not that long after we started dating, he was like, "Hey, how would you feel about moving to Michigan?" And I was like, "Okay, I'm in." And so we moved to Michigan, and I had done a bunch of research about, nightlife and drag, because of course I was doing drag when I was in Omaha. And so it was like, okay, how do I get back into the scene? How do I get back into the gigs? And so I came and I watched a show, and I met Jaden, and I was like, "Hey, I do the things." And Jaden was like, "All right, next week you're on." I was like, "Yes." And then I was just a part of the family.
I think too, wasn't maybe I'm remembering incorrectly because it was like late at night and I was drinking at that show. But when she met you, wasn't there like some type of like I feel like at some point someone in our group saw you like dancing on the dance floor and they were like, this person's legit. We need because normally when we have people on show, like Jaden has to see them a few times before she's just like, let's go. So but I don't
I,
remember.
yeah, I was dancing. Like I was living my best life. I
Yeah.
always try to, but like I think Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston was on, and I was like, "This is my jam. I've had 3 drinks. Let's do it."
Yeah. And also you were just stunning and Jane was like, we have to have her right now. None of us look this great.
It's one thing. I still get like surprised by like people saying that I'm pretty and stuff like that, because dysphoria.
Right.
And it's like, you sure I don't still look like a man? And they're like, "You're beautiful. You're the most beautiful person I've ever met." And I'm like, "Are you sure? Are you talking about me, or are you talking about somebody else?" But like, it's still like super weird for me for people to
Mm-hmm.
be like, "Oh my God, you're beautiful." And then I'll see myself in a picture and be like, "Oh my God, I'm gorgeous." But like walking around living life, I'm like, "Oh no."
Very much the same way. My favorite usually is like candid photos of myself that someone's taken that I didn't know that they took. And they're like, look at this photo. And I'm like, that's me? That I did that? Like I see myself every day. I never look that good.
Yeah, I look in the mirror and I look weird, but like you start showing me pictures and I'm like, "Oh my God, who is she?"
I'm gonna be just like her.
It's so weird. It's so weird. Like, because I'm still, that little piece of uncomfortable with myself, and like
Mm-hmm.
feeling like everybody's clocking my tea everywhere. So when people are like, "Oh my God," like people will stop me in like Walmart and be like, "You are so beautiful. Are you a model?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but
You weren't supposed to notice.
um, this is weird for me."
But if like you're hiring, I'm here.
If you've got a gig, I will walk. Please tell me what's up.
All of that,
In
100%.
heels, I'm like 6'2" to 6'4".
She's tall. I'm 5'5". At all times.
It's fun to take pictures. I'm gonna bend down.
I know. I was looking at pictures of us, and in all of them, except for the one I posted today because you were sitting, and all the ones I have of you, you're like trying to get to my height. I'm like, oh, I'm so little.
I learned to do it like at shows. Like I had a really hard crash course in Austin. I just didn't. I didn't expect people to like celebritize me in that way. But like I'd do the show and then I'd walk out and I'd just like mind my business. But like one day it just hit really hard, and people were like, "Can I get a picture with you?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, okay, cool." And like I had to bend down a little bit, and then like I looked up and there was like a line of people, and I was like, okay, cool. But like I got used to like bending down to other people's heights and like adjusting my body so I don't look awkward.
My favorite performance that I've seen you done, and we all still talk about it because I mean, we only saw you for so long, so we only have so many memories. But the one that we always talk about is your Ann Arbor Pride performance of your Beyonce mix. That is still a whenever someone's like, "Who's this Avalisa you're talking about?" We're like, "Let me tell you, she did this one performance at Ann Arbor Pride," and we still talk about it like 3 years later. That
It
was
was a good performance. I was out of breath.
how do you prep? Do you like rehearse? Are you self-taught in everything that you do? How do you
Yeah, most of the time I'll get online and I'll find some type of choreography. Like if I want to do choreography to a number, I'll get online. I'll just go through people's choreography until I find something that feels like me. And then I start to learn it and start to kind of make it my own. And then uh, just doing it is enough of a workout. Hey, Maxie, doing it enough is like a workout. So I get my breath behind me, and I actively sing when I do it because singing and dancing at the same time takes your breath all the way away.
Mhm.
And so it builds up that stamina. So when you're finally on stage doing it, you're not like completely dead.
I like Maxie's question.
Mm, mhm, mhm, thank you. Um, I don't know. Like somebody told me to do stand up, and I was like, I'm not funny unless I'm in a conversation. Like you just, it's what I say off of cuff. It's
Yeah.
not what I prepare because like I try to be funny, and I'm like airplane food, huh? And then it's not funny at all, and like I feel really stupid, and so I'm just like, just have a conversation. I'll get funny. Trust me.
I very much relate to humor like Bianca Del Rio, who she just uses the audience for all of her stuff. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of like mean humor, but like as long as I can have a conversation and I have someone as like a sounding board to play off of, I'm better than any kind of scripted comedy for
I'm
sure.
really good at emceeing when I've had 2 shots of Jameson and the crowd is like reactive, because then I'll
Hmm.
just say whatever and like judge like how they react to it, and I'm like, okay, cool, we're gonna go down this lane. I'll just talk about this.
Yes.
I
I feel
made
like
people get on stage and have a twerking contest once.
I
We had some
live.
time to fill. I was like, I have been up here shaking my ass this entire time. I want to know who out here can shake that ass. And so, like, just randomly got people on stage, and we had a twerking contest, and the owner gave me a free drink ticket, and I was like, here you go. This is here's your prize.
They're like, yes, more alcohol. I went.
And then I had another shot, and then I wasn't too good after that.
I also definitely have a limit. It's like, okay, you're not funny anymore. You need to go sit. But I'm like, but I can talk.
Let me say the things. Trust me, it'll be funny.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Jameson. Yes, we're Jameson all around. Actually, Jaden hasn't had Jameson since the summer. So I actually haven't seen Jameson in quite a while after seeing Jameson for so many years.
That's so sad. That's so sad. Although I have transitioned to port wine because it's
Ooh,
fancy and it's super stay at home type of thing. But yeah,
yes.
port wine will get you there.
I'm going all fancy. Is it expensive?
No.
Well, there you go. It's even better.
Hmm. Like you
Re-
can get the expensive ones, but you can also get the inexpensive ones and still get just as slosh.
Here for it. You should have gotten a free bottle.
I should have
Just a whole bottle.
a whole bottle.
I don't think a bar would ever. I'd be impressed.
They have
Oh, they
many
have.
times. Yes. Especially in Austin, they were always like, "Girl, yes, you go take this bottle of vodka," and I'd be like, "What am I supposed to do with this? Just take it down to the dressing room, okay? Fine, let's do
I
it."
I did one show where I just wanted an empty bottle. Like I just wanted an empty bottle as like a prop. And they were like they wouldn't even give me the empty bottle because they were just like really worried about what I was gonna do with it. I was like, it's literally in the song. Like you can watch the song and have it back. Like I'm not gonna do anything. They're like, are you sure? I'm like, yes. Like what? Ugh.
I dealt with that many times for drunken love because I either have a bottle with me or I'll have a drink and then I'll
Mhm.
pour it all over myself when she says, "Didn't mean to spill that liquor all on my attire." And super sexy, shaking my tits. They're all wet and stuff. And people just lose it. I don't know why I did it the first time. I think I had a cup. I had a cup and I was like stumbling around the stage while I did it. Like I danced real sexy and then I'd stumble some more. And then when it came up, I was like, "Oh, I know what line is next. Fuck it." And I just poured it all over myself and people went for it. So I was like, okay, keep this thing going. And so I'd have to go to the bartenders and be like, "I need an empty bottle of alcohol." And they'd be like, "What for?" "For a number." Uh, like, no. And I'm like, "Just give me one out of the trash, please.
Right.
This shouldn't be this hard."
I just what are you gonna do with an empty bottle? I don't understand. I mean, I do, but I don't.
Am I going to fight? Do you think I'm going to like harm somebody when I'm getting a paycheck for being here?
Right. Especially as a performer. Maybe if you were a customer, I'd be like, what are you gonna do with this? But as a performer, like
As a customer, I would say no. That would be a hard no. But like, I have on 6 pounds of makeup. I'm wearing this expensive wig. I
Nick
am
said
here to do my job.
Nick goes, Jane will just do mustard or beer. She has poured so many things on that her poor body and costumes. It is disgusting.
Oh.
That's one thing I don't miss about in-person shows. Is taking care of her drag after.
One thing I don't miss about in-person shows is smelling other people's pads and pantyhose.
Yep.
I
Those
don't
dressing
miss
rooms
that.
were never smelling good. Ever.
I mean, when you're doing shows super, super frequently, you don't have a lot of time to wash pads and stuff like that. But at the same time, your pantyhose smell like feet. And we can all smell it.
Nick is like, but it was great. No, okay, you didn't go home with her, Nick. You didn't go home with other half that smelled like mustard and Jameson and beer. You don't understand.
Yes,
Because
Andy, I have. I have. Wait, which? How do I do this? I have pretty like good upper body strength, and so I started trying to do pole dancing, but like I don't know, it hurt. I was not into it.
I have no upper body strength whatsoever, in case anyone was wondering. It's non-existent on this body. In gym class, I was always the kid that just hung on like the bar when they were like, do pull-ups. And I was just like, I can't.
There's something about pull-ups that's super weird because like I remember a time where I could just like crank out 15 and then drop down and be like, that's enough. Like even in the military. But like I tried to like go to a gym and like do one pull-up and it was like, no, I can't. Like it was so hard.
Oh my god.
Growing up, getting old, jeez.
Mine has always just been in my legs. I liked soccer and I could do like weights with my legs. I can always do that,
Mm-hmm.
but like other than that, no strength anywhere
I
else
always
in
had
my
the
body.
tiniest legs, but like I'd get on that leg press machine and I'd be like, more weight. And I don't know. It just turned me into a monster.
I always felt easier because I had the back, like the sit down ones. I had the back to like press my body into. I could just like use everything. I don't know.
Maybe it was just magic. Maybe it was trans magic.
Could be.
That's how you know.
Yep. There we go. Problem solved. Great show today. I'm just kidding.
Put your kids on the leg press. You'll know.
Oh my god. Oh, Julie can leg press over 350 pounds.
I don't
Julie, is
know
there something you need to
how.
tell us? Because according to the math that we just did.
According to the science.
Well, that's nice that your gym class cheered you on. My gym class just judged me in silence whenever I couldn't do something. They're like, "Can we have the next kid, please?" I was not a fan of gym ever.
Yeah, no, I just had them yelling things like, he can't do it because he's a girl. And it was like, I am. Nobody knows. God,
Also, a lot of
that's
girls can
awkward.
do a lot of things, so that's not even an insult.
Exactly. I hate that entire like mindset. You throw like a girl. And
Right.
what's that supposed to mean?
Well, with reaching the end of our time, is there any last things you want to say or talk about?
Support the voices of trans people, specifically Black trans women. We're out here dying. Um, Vote whenever you get the opportunity. Everybody's voice is important, and being heard is important. I don't care how small you think you are, how small or unimportant you think that your voice is. It is important. Um, Stop calling yourself an ally unless you say something when you see something. Uh, I see y'all out here talking about I'm an ally, but people are like saying really hateful stuff in front of you and you're keeping silent. So if you want to call yourself an ally, say something when you see something. Um, Pretty people are people too.
I think the the part about the ally that was my biggest realization over the last year is that I was calling myself an ally for like the black community, and I was not in that sense.
Uh,
I was very
it's
silent, and I was like, silence is the same as allyship. And then I did that the whole thing that ended up that was in the beginning of June last year with the protests and everything. And then I had Maxie and Isaiah on the show, and I was like, "What can white people do?" And they're like, "Be an ally." And I was like, "I got that one." And they were like, "No, like this." And I was
gag. I think, you know, people think by not being against something that you're for it and in
Mhm.
support of it, when in all actuality, like you're not. Like I can say that I love popcorn and popcorn is my jam, but if I haven't actually eaten popcorn since 2005, like, do I really like popcorn? Am I really allowed to be out here talking about popcorn as my favorite food? Like there's a lot of action that has to come behind words for it to actually mean something. And I think 2020 was a really big eye opener for so many people. And I wish that it would have been the same type of eye opener for the rest of the LGBT community, because there's so much transphobia within this community and nobody says anything about it. Nobody talks about it. We don't discuss it because we don't want to put even more division within our community that's already, an underdog. But realistically, we have a lot of people in the community that are like, oh no, I support trans rights. And it's like, but you misgender people and then you laugh about it and you do it in front of your friends.
Yeah. That I'm just letting that one sit because that's 100% all of that.
Yeah.
Thank you
Those
so
are the
much.
things that I end up saying. So
Thank you so much for doing the show today. I really appreciate it. And we all miss you here in Michigan. If you can ever come back, ever.
we are trying. We are trying so hard. And as soon as like COVID is safe enough for me to start planning this wedding again, like I'm getting out of Arkansas and we are going places, and
Yes.
Michigan is one of those places.
And if we're invited, we're gonna make your wedding fantastic.
God, it's gonna be crazy.
And if we're not
It's
invited,
gonna
we
be crazy.
understand because weddings are intense and you have a lot of people to invite. So that was no pressure.
No, I've had my list written out for a while now. Um, but like it's crazy. It is. Nobody talks about it. Weddings are crazy and everybody has an opinion.
Right. Well, thank you so much. I enjoyed having you today. Thank you.
I enjoyed being here. Thank you for the best wishes from Scotland.
Yes. Well, I'm going to send you off, but again, thank you. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your week, Avalisa.
I will. I'm about to chill. I'm gonna
Yes,
chill and eat.
do it. Do it big.
All right, bye. Thanks for listening to me.
Of course. Thank you. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank you again to Avalisa for being on the show. She is amazing. And like I said, I look up to her so much. So I'm so glad you all got to meet her if you haven't met her before, which I know a lot of you haven't. And I'm glad we got to share her with you. Hopefully you'll get to see her on some of our other live stream shows soon, or in person one day again, because that would be fantastic. That being said, please check out the rest of our shows for this week. We have our Friday show. We are raising money for Stand with Trans Michigan, and it's a regular drag show, but we have the amazing special guest, Erica Norell, who is an incredible woman herself, and we are just so excited to have her. The show on Friday is only $15. It is through a private link. So if you just send $15 to any of the services scrolling across the screen here, just make sure you include your email address so we can get you that special link. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the Americas. And it's a lot of fun. Our theme is Broadway, which I'm also very excited for, because if you've watched the show before, you know that I'm a huge theater nerd. So I'm so excited for Broadway, and to see all these queens work it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then on Saturday, we have our regular family-friendly show. It shows every single Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Facebook, the same way that you're watching the show today. So if you haven't liked our page already, make sure you like Boylesque Michigan so you can get notified about all our live stream shows. So we do 3 shows a week, and we have a lot of fun doing it. And sometimes we have some pop-up shows. So make sure you like and follow, because we're always doing a lot of new things. Thank you all for tuning in. Please do something for yourself this week. Do something for yourself tonight, or I think in the UK you're in a different time zone. So this morning or afternoon, if that's the case, maybe it's nighttime there. I don't know my time zones, but do something for you today, or sometime this week, or every day this week. Self care is important, and remember that you are loved and you are worthy of love. And have a great rest of your week, guys. Bye.